Mirrors, they're fascinating, right? One of the most famous area where mirrors are seen is in Versailles, the Hall of Mirrors. What a beautiful place that is. It was built by King Louis XIV, the Sun King. Now at the time, mirrors were pretty hard to come by because Venice had a monopoly on mirror making. And indeed, they held the secret to how mirrors were made. And boy, did they ever emphasize that. Anyone who revealed that secret was punishable by death. But King Louis had some of the mirror makers from Venice spirited away to France to establish a mirror industry so that he could build his Hall of Mirrors. And the secret then was out. The Venetian method for making mirrors was to take tin and mix it with mercury, paint it on glass, then let the mercury evaporate, leaving behind a layer of tin. And that was reflective. And as you can imagine, it also led to toxicity, mercury toxicity in mirror workers. Well, this was noted by German chemist Justus von Liebig, a leading light in German chemistry at the time. And he wanted to solve this problem. And indeed he did. He found a way to coat mirrors with silver instead of with a mercury amalgam. And indeed, for a long time, mirrors were made by the Liebig process until in the 1930s, a new method was found to deposit aluminum on mirrors in a vacuum system, and that's the way mirrors are made today. But Liebig made other contributions to chemistry as well. For example, this. Now, this unusual little apparatus is called the Kali apport, and it was a very clever invention because it allowed the determination of the percent of carbon in a sample. This little glassware contained a chemical called potassium hydroxide, and potassium hydroxide would absorb carbon dioxide when a sample was burned, and it would allow for the calculation of the amount of carbon in the sample. This was a very big deal. Chemical analysis was really at the initial stages back in those days, and Liebig had a big contribution to that. In fact, that contribution was so important that the American Chemical Society, which is the largest professional society in the world, uses the Kali apport in its logo. And there it is. And even most chemists who are members of the society have never noted that. But there's something else that I really like about Justus von Liebig, who, as I said, made tremendous contributions to chemistry. And that is this quote that he left us. And it's especially important given the fact that he played such an important role in the production of mirrors. And he was a big proponent of observations and how important it was to come to the right conclusion based on an observation. And that is what I have been promoting now for well over 40 years.